Hey everyone. In my attempts to fix audio, I discovered there's another way of recording my voice on my computer. So the first 10 minutes of this episode will use that instead of my normal setup, just to see if things sound better. And if it does, that's great. We'll keep doing this. Otherwise, I'll probably have a new microphone 3 episodes from now. Also, thanks to Return to Office and my schedule, episodes will now come out Saturdays instead of Fridays for time reasons. On today's episode, combustion experiments.
Yes!
Science experiments.
Who doesn't love science?
People who don't like science. And
Oh.
a special thing's gonna happen.
A special thing?
Yes.
What kind of special thing is going to happen?
We'll get to it, okay?
Is Santa going to come?
No, this is in April.
Dang it. So close.
So on today's episode of End of Mission, we're covering STS-83. I am Paul, the pressure-fed astronaut.
And I'm the face of Sarcasm.
And that
What up?
And that man is calling someone on his phone.
Oh, it's got the cord, too.
Yeah.
How antiquated.
Yeah. So what do you think this picture is of?
They have a really big tether. Oh, I know. They're setting up the phone line going to space, right? That's why he's testing the call, right? So they're wiring it up into space.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That is totally what this is about.
Yes.
Okay.
What does MSL mean?
Oh, we're gonna find out. Wait, don't look at the screen. Sorry.
Oh.
I'm testing out new audio stuff, so I might splinter in the new audio testing. I know I've got problems. It's either this or get a new microphone.
Yeah, this is an intervention,
Yeah.
I guess, in some form or fashion.
Again, sorry about the bad audio on my end. It is just me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It is just me.
I'm fine.
I'm just too fat for this. I don't know.
Yeah. No, your voice is so terrible. The microphone's just like, we're just gonna turn up all the parts that make this worse.
Yeah, turn them off. That's just not good. Get rid of them.
Ugh.
Okay, so STS-83 is the 83rd flight of the Space Shuttle program.
Finally, the numbers make sense.
Yep.
Oh.
This flight will be on Columbia, as you can see here. You can tell it's Columbia because of the black here. That's how you know it's Columbia.
Okay.
And if you look,
because of the way it is, because it has the black.
and if you look at the tail, it has silts. It's a big cylinder on the top. That's the other reason.
What?
It's called silts. It's an experiment that was put on like STS-40, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We'll when we get to that mission, we'll talk about it.
All right. I like that it's cut off at the bottom of this picture, so you can't even see it.
It's classified. Yeah.
It's great.
So this is the 22nd flight of Columbia. The previous flight of the Space Shuttle program was STS-82. We're actually in order.
Yeah.
Finally.
Oh, hey, we're going 82, 83. Finally.
Yep. It's going to stay that way after this flight, too.
Is it?
We'll find out.
And
then the previous flight was STS-80 for Columbia. Now that one, I think, is the longest flight of the shuttle program.
How long was that one?
I think it was 18 days.
18 days before it hits Earth?
Yes. Oh, no, it was 16 days.
So,
That's the one where
we can't even do the meet.
That's where Story Musgrave actually stood up and during the re-entry and landing, just to show that he could.
Just a T-pose to assert his dominance?
Yes.
Nice.
So STS-83 is a science mission for the shuttle. No fancy satellite recovery and repair, no trusses in the payload bay. They're doing lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of science.
Yes, I love science. I love science so much. All that other stuff was boring. Let's get to the science.
There's only one thing that makes this mission unique, and that's why I picked it.
Oh,
we'll find out.
Oh, it's the phone, right? It's
the first shuttle to carry a phone. It's the last shuttle with the cord phone. Then you're going wireless next. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, there we go.
That's the new experiment. Yeah.
So this mission has the Long SpaceLab module, also known as Microgravity Science Lab MSL-1.
Oh, okay. So that's what MSL stands for, Microgravity Science Lab. Okay.
Which hosts a number of science experiments with a focus on combustion.
Yes.
Okay.
Burn stuff.
Yeah. I got some pictures of it too. It's good.
Yes.
The pilot on this flight is the second woman to ever fly the shuttle.
Yay!
Yeah. So the mission launch is planned for April 3rd, 1997, and it's going to last 15 days. 2 weeks in space doing science.
Oh, yes. You need all the time in the world to do science.
Protein crystals ain't going to grow themselves.
Exactly. Right? You got all that dust to count. It ain't going to count itself.
Yeah. Some nice shots of the shuttle, too.
Yeah, it's really nice. Good looking.
I like these shots here where it's kind of looking down on it.
You get like the super bright exposed outside and then the underexposed inside. It's great.
Yeah, this is cool. And you have the nice shadow of it as it's going. It's a really nice shot. Yeah. Okay, so this is the long SpaceLab module.
Doesn't look that long.
I mean, we did see the shuttle a few weeks ago. It's big, but it's not that big.
Yeah.
So this is in the rear half of the payload bay. And
then you get the hamster stuff, tunnels and tubes.
We did see that. We saw that. We saw part of this.
Oh, yeah.
We saw. I think we saw this part at Kennedy Space Center with Atlantis.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That was cool. Yeah, that was pretty neat.
Yeah. And again, I couldn't find a good diagram of the payload bay, so I just picked the picture of it.
I mean, it's a great way to show it,
Yep, and so this is also a gas can. They're doing a gas can experiment, of course.
Of course they are.
Yeah, it's a shuttle mission.
Are they ever going to fly one without one?
Yes. When we get the ISS flights, it's just ISS module, done.
Okay.
So, on board is Combustion Module 1.
Ooh, look at that.
I'm going to list all the experiments and describe them for the next 11 slides. I am very sorry. Again, for all those who are listening and get bored of the science experiments, when we get to, I think, STS-83, when they recover LDEF, you and I are going to get inebriated and list every experiment on board LDEF.
Yes, I'm excited for that.
Because I have the master list of them.
Yes.
So the first one, and so this is Combustion Module 1 here, this thing.
The whole nuclear bomb that they're pulling out of the experiment package?
They pull it out, they put the experiment thing in, they push it in, and do some combustion. It's really
nice.
It is really cool. So the first one is called Laminar Soot Process.
Oh, this is where they get the kid in there with the chimney sweep?
Yeah. How'd you know?
Okay. The soot.
So they're examining laminar jet diffusion flames. So if you have like a candle, right? Mm-hmm. You have the wick, which has a combustion, but what it's doing is it's pulling in kind of the melted wax and burns it, right?
Okay.
Well, for this, they have a jet, like a Bunsen burner.
So they have a jet candle.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That they're just burning.
So pretty much
just to see what happens.
Yeah, they're pretty much modeling flames in space to see how they generate soot, because soot is a byproduct of imperfect combustion. So it's not like it's not like the stoichiometric ratio. It's like the extra stuff. I took a class on combustion.
Oh, okay, this is all the unburned stuff. That
yeah,
of course.
So then we have softball, which is structure of flame balls at low Lewis number.
Flame balls. Here's your flame ball, sir.
Yeah, they start throwing them at each other. Like those cartoons.
Flame war.
Yeah.
So it's like a snowball fight, but it's fire.
Yeah. So this determines if stable balls of flame can exist, and then model them.
Hey, can you pass me the ball of fire? Oh yeah, here we go.
Here you go. Yeah,
thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So this entire mission was planned by Bob Arson.
He had no ulterior motives.
Yeah.
He just loved science.
Yeah, I just really like science experiments involving fire.
Thank you, Mr. Arson.
So we have the droplet combustion apparatus. That's this guy. Okay. You're looking at him. So you can see right here there's a little droplet, right?
Yes.
Then you have the
goalposts.
Yeah, the goalposts.
The hoops.
Yeah. So they're actually set fire in there. So they're doing...
Oh, so it's going to do like a ring of fire thing where it has to like fly through it?
Even better, it's going to make a flame ball.
Yes.
I have pictures of this.
Yes.
So this one's going to collect data on burning rates, flame structures, and conditions when you extinguish the flame.
Oh, see how you put it out?
Yeah, what happens? Because on Earth, we use combustion for a lot of things. Like trying to get your ex back with you, that kind of thing. And you want to model that better. So you don't have soot in engines and make them burn cleaner and that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
So then you have fiber-supported droplet combustion. So instead of the cool, thing because these little arms go like in too. It's like a little machine. It's so cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So this one's got a fiber on it, right? So they put the droplets on the fiber and they cause fire. And
then fire just happens.
Yeah, well, they cause it to ignite. But yeah, so that's what this is. And I have a picture of it.
Okay, I'm confused by the layout. This looks like a 3D printer, but
it kind of is.
For space.
It kind of is.
It just prints fire?
Yeah.
Nice. I want one.
Well, no, you can't have one of these.
Dang it.
So looking for pollutants, soot production, process, and combustion. It's a combustion experiment.
It's a combustion experiment. Let's see what comes off the combustion experiment.
And of course, the one, the only, protein crystal growth.
Finally! Yes!
756 specimens to do some protein crystal growth here.
So many protein crystals to grow.
So the first one is protein crystallization apparatus for microgravity, PCA. It's small plastic trays with 7 sample wells in donut-shaped reservoirs.
Oh, okay. I imagine that's how you grow crystals, protein crystals.
Yeah, that's how you do it with donuts.
Donuts. You give them donuts,
yeah.
You get crystals.
So then you have second-generation vapor diffusion apparatus. This uses vapor diffusion techniques to process 11 different proteins in 80 crystallization chambers. So they're trying to get structural data on proteins related to Chagas' disease. You ever heard of this?
I've never heard of Shaggy's disease.
It's common in like South America. It's like caused by like bug bites. It's a parasite, and the most common symptom is that your eyelids swell.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's kind of gross.
So they're vaping to try and help.
They're trying to make the proteins of it so they can better deal with it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
interesting.
Yeah, it is. Again, a lot of science experiments if you love proteins.
If you love protein crystals.
Then you have handheld diffusion test cells. So they have 8 cells mounted on a rail. Cells have 3 chambers for diffusion experiments. So they're doing 32 specimens of these.
On rails?
Yeah.
They got a little train set.
No. That'd be too cool.
Okay, we got to tone it down.
So now we have the express rack. Ooh, now remember, this is
what is this?
So you have 1997. What's coming up? In terms of space science.
Is it satellites? Internet?
What's a big thing that could hold science experiments in it for a long time?
Space station.
Yep. So they're testing out the racks they're going to put on the ISS. So you can take them out of the shuttle and put them on the space station. That's what this is for.
Got it.
So that's what this whole thing is. Because actually what they're going to do is, so they actually have this part. So this is the first experiment. They actually have it in the mid-deck, and then they're going to move it into the SpaceLab module.
To try and like simulate the going into the International Space Station and put it in place.
And setting it up. Yeah. Because again, that's what they...
Installing the furniture.
That's what they do now. They'll fly up one on Cargo Dragon or Cygnus or one of the servicing spacecraft, and they'll just bring it out and put it in.
All right, they'll take the furniture out of the truck and install it in the living room.
They'll put the tarp on the wrong way so everything gets really wet when it rains.
Yeah, it turns into a bowl instead of protecting it from the rain.
I'm sorry about that, by the way.
You should be.
Yeah. It only took a day for your mattress to dry out. Come on.
Yeah, it took. I'm pretty sure the lazy boys are still wet.
Oh, it's only been a year. So the experiment that I circled, I think it's this one. It's the second one. Oh, no, sorry. The green one is the second one. So the first one is physics of hard spheres experiment.
Hard spheres, so balls.
Yeah. Examines changes during transitions from solid to liquid and liquid to solid, specifically for alloying and manufacturing. So the samples are glass spheres with colloidal systems in them. So they pretty much have little metal flakes in them, and they'll melt them and then cool them down.
So they're converted to liquid metal and then turn it back to a solid and see if they get a Terminator out of it, basically?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
And then we have Astro Plant Generic Bioprocessing Apparatus, Astro PGBA. Studies plants in microgravity, specifically production of lignin D, which is a really bad band name.
Yeah.
So that's used. It's a protein used in just generating energy for plants.
So it's biology.
Stuff. It's nerd stuff.
So it's the biological energy, which can mean 50 different things.
Yeah, well, they're also looking for changes in starches and sugars, which is also like the energy storage for plants and animals.
Right, yeah.
So that's what this is.
Okay, so they're just looking to see what all happens with that.
Yeah. So then we have the Large Isothermal Furnace.
The furnace.
Yep.
Finally, we got the thermos. Or the furnace.
So this heats large samples of metal up to 2,900 degrees Fahrenheit, or 1,600 centigrade.
Nice and I mean, it's a furnace.
Yeah.
It's a furnace.
And
You got the oven.
And they rapidly cool them with helium. It's a really cold
You can
temperature.
rapidly cool that stuff with helium?
Yeah, it's gases and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, it's weird science stuff?
Yeah.
So wait, why did they put that in my oven? To cool it off immediately after it's done.
You just don't know the right people.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I gotta get more helium.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a leak, you'll know. It'll be really funny.
Yeah.
It's like whenever I play with nitrous oxide. I have a giggle and I don't remember why. Nitrous oxide prevents the formation of long-term memory or short-term memory. That's why they give it to you when they...
You don't remember?
I think, yeah. One of those. That's why when you go to the dentist, they give you nitrous when they're like trying to drill your teeth out.
Yeah, dude. They want to knock you out.
Yeah, they'll knock you out so you don't remember this.
You won't remember how much it hurts.
Yeah. And you'll have a giggle because it makes you laugh.
Nice. That's hilarious.
So what other jokes should we explain on this episode?
Can you teach me how to read first?
That's a good question. Okay, so the first one is measurement of diffusion coefficient by shear cell method. Well, it's two columns of different concentrations which are rotated into contact. So you have two of these cylinders, right? Mm-hmm. They're melted, and then they're spun together, right? Like this. So they're sheared into segments, and then they're pulled apart. Like this.
I'm so confused.
Well, so they have the two columns of the different materials, right? So they have tin, lead tin, lead tin telluride. Say that 10 times fast. So they'll melt them down. They'll put them together, right? They'll diffuse into each other, and then pull them apart.
Oh, okay, so they're melting these two things into each other and then yoinking them apart to see.
Yeah, and they're seeing how they'll mix. Because when you make alloys, right, you got to melt stuff and mix them together. So they're seeing how that works.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So just melting a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of different materials together to see how they mix together.
They should put a hydraulic press on the shuttle and just broke stuff, like that one YouTube channel.
That would have been funny.
Yeah. Let's put our submission into NASA. Let's launch this thing.
Come on, NASA. We're gonna go back to the moon. Let's make some money. All right.
It's just a series of just hydraulic press stuff. Just take moon rocks and just put it in there.
Yeah.
That'd actually be pretty cool.
I would watch that. I'd subscribe.
Yeah. So the next one is diffusion of liquid metals. Measures variables.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's new.
Measures variables.
Measures variables that regulate liquid tin with temperature.
That regulate liquid tin with temperature.
So that was a completely different word. That's supposed to be that.
No, look, see, it's gone now.
Measures variables regulate liquid tin with temperature.
Yep, that's how it works. Science.
That's grammatically correct.
Yep. So then they have diffusion in lead tin telluride. Just like the last one, they're melting it and seeing how the lead, tin, and telluride mix together.
I just want to melt some lead and tin together, see what happens.
Yeah. They have impurity diffusion in ionic metals. Ooh. So they measure the diffusion of a tracer, which that's the impurity, in a molten salt. Mm-hmm. So they put metal in there, they melt it, and melt the salt and see where it goes.
So it's just melting a whole bunch of stuff together.
So they examine the conditions for electrolysis of molten salts as well, because, hey, you're doing that right now, so...
Yeah, can we generate electricity from this?
No. Electrolysis is when you use electricity to break things down. Remember I did that for a science fair project in 5th grade? I got water in the... Yeah. So,
yeah, I know what's the one joke? You could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it perform electrolysis.
That's true.
Yeah.
So you have liquid phase sintering 2, electric boogaloo. So
because I guess liquid phase sintering 1 was so good.
Oh, yeah. So this heats and liquefies materials to perform a mixture without reaching the melting point of the solid phase material. That's what sintering is, I guess.
Cool.
Yes. Then we have diffusion processes in molten semiconductors. So they're melting stuff and diffusing it in silicon, gallium, and antimony in germanium.
Ooh.
Fascinating stuff there.
Yeah. Just taking a whole bunch of stuff found around the shop, melting it together in a big furnace and a big oven. Just going to see what happens.
Yeah, this is great. Let's melt some stuff. Will it melt?
See, there we go. NASA, come on. You got to get on top of this.
Yeah.
Will it melt, right? And you put a whole bunch of different stuff together, right? You're already doing that.
Yeah.
Like, just get some more cameras, post it up on YouTube. Oh, this is 97, so YouTube wouldn't exist for another 8 years.
That's true. Make it. So they're doing they're measuring microgravity aboard the shuttle for the next set of experiments. So you have Sam's. That's what this guy's sitting on. This box here.
Sitting on Sam?
Yep, sitting on Sam's. Measures accelerations on the shuttle while on orbit. So pretty much they're seeing what are the little accelerations that are hitting the shuttle, like atmospheric drag, sneezing,
Lumps in the gravity well of Earth.
diffusion, that kind of stuff.
You start burning stuff, and it's like, wait a second, the soot is actually altering the trajectory slightly.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. That's pretty much all they're doing. And they're just measuring it at different spots on the shuttle just to see what it does. Because it's going to help with ISS, because ISS is huge, right?
Right. They got to figure out, hey, is it going to start like warping apart from
that would be bad.
different micro
so that's
accelerations.
So that's what this is. And this is the rear end of the space lab module here.
Okay, so that's like the back of the payload bay.
So what's behind them is the extended duration orbiter kit, which is just extra hydrogen and oxygen for the fuel cells to keep it running longer. That's all it is.
Right, because they're going to be going up for 15 days.
Yeah, 15 days in this thing. Ugh.
Yeah,
so you have
one toilet, no shower. Oof.
So you have TEMPUS. It's German. It's Electromagnetic Containerless Processing Facility. TEMPUS.
Yeah, those letters definitely those all fit together.
In German, they do.
Okay.
Jawohl. So this uses electromagnetic levitation. Actually, I think it's pretty cool.
It's just yeah. I mean, how else are you supposed to make stuff float in space?
That's true. So this suspends metal alloys as they solidify. So they're gonna melt them and hold them in place, and then let them solidify.
Okay,
so
that's pretty cool.
Actually,
that is actually pretty cool.
So this actually flew on the shuttle on STS-83 as part of the IML-2 mission.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the IML stands for.
International Metal something? I don't know.
Lagoon. International Metal Lagoon 2.
Because the first one was so good.
Yeah. So the experiments on this are thermophysical properties of undercooled metallic melts facility. Measures properties of liquid and undercooled alloys like palladium, copper, silicon, or copper. I stayed up till 2 a.m. watching New Glenn. And I did this.
Gotta get the copper, the platinum, the silicon.
So pretty much they're gonna melt stuff and then undercool it.
Really? In the combustion experiments?
And then you have thermophysical properties of advanced materials in undercooled liquid state. Wow. So we're doing metallic glasses with zirconium-based alloys. Okay.
Just melting a bunch of different stuff together and seeing what happens.
Just remember, this is the Shuttle program in the 1990s.
Exciting.
Very exciting. Measurements of the surface tension of liquid and undercooled metallic melts by oscillating drop technique experiment. Studies surface tension of drops as they're...
See, this is what I don't understand, is why do they want to get children excited for space travel? Because this is what people... this is what astronauts actually do in space.
It's like a catch-22 thing. Or it's, if you are interested in this, don't go near us. It's like, what's wrong with you? But if you're not, you're going to become an astronaut, and then you join, you have to do this. Oh, you thought I'd be a pioneer of space travel? Guess what? Do the protein crystal growth experiment.
Yeah. Look, it's a rite of passage, all right? You have to do all 87 experiments with crystal growth, melting a whole bunch of different stuff together just to see what happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Study of the morphological stability of growing dendrites by comparative dendrite velocity. So they have pure nickel and a dilution with nickel-carbon alloy in the Earth and Space Laboratory. So So dendrites are little branching structures of cooled segments of the metal. I have pictures of it in molten metal alloys. They're important because they might cause like cracks and things like that. It's part of materials processing.
Right.
It's very exciting. Here's some more. Undercooled melts of alloys with polytetrahedral short-range order experiment. It studies quasi-crystals. So they're like crystals, but not really.
They're liars. They're fakers.
Yes.
They're coming in with fake IDs to try and get alcohol or something.
Yeah, it's the combustion experiments. So thermal expansion foe of glass-forming metallic alloys in the undercooled state. Investigates thermal expansion of multi-component amorphous alloys between melting and glass transition temperatures.
You didn't even capitalize the I in investigation.
You can see how much I cared about this.
Yeah, I would cared a lot.
I was so much more excited about the droplet combustion experiment, okay? Because I have pictures of that.
Yeah, that one's cool. You got the picture of that. We're still using the same image for all these.
Because this is TEMPUS still.
This is still TEMPUS.
Yeah, we're still in.
Gosh. They're doing a lot with TEMPUS.
We're doing a lot of science for 15 days.
So much science.
Experiments on nucleation in different flow regimes. So it's showing how when metals solidify, what's going on inside.
What's going on in the nucleus?
Yeah, nucleation, that's what that is, yeah.
Nucleation.
Alloy undercooling experiment. That's how it's written in the press kit. That's what it says. It's kind of like back when we did German class. We had One Sane Man Productions. So it was a One Sane Man Productions production.
Yeah. So it's the alloy undercooling experiment.
Yeah. So this measures solidification velocity in steel alloys using different video and temperature measurement techniques.
Video measurements.
Yeah, so hey, with the camcorder, is it faster? I don't know. So we're recording it and just seeing what happens. What's better for it, I guess. Okay. You can see how much I care about this experiment.
It's a very interesting experiment.
If maybe I could post here's a list of experiments. Which of these is interesting on the community tab?
Yeah.
See who's interested in this stuff, and then ban them immediately from the channel. Just stay away from me. Why do you like this?
I would love to learn more about thermal expansion faux glass-forming metallic alloys in the undercooled state, as opposed to Virginia state.
Yes. Measurement of surface tension and viscosity of undercooled liquid metals experiment.
Okay, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. AC calorimetry and thermophysical properties of bulk glass-forming metallic liquids. It's
glass-forming metallic liquids sounds cool.
It is cool, but it's just glass transition temperature. So you know what that is?
No.
Okay, so you have steel, right?
Yes.
You can bend it and it comes back.
Okay.
But if you get it really cold, it acts more like glass. It shatters.
Oh, it gets brittle.
Yeah, it's brittle. It's what glass transition temperature is. That's when it stops because the golden rule of material science is everything is a spring until it isn't.
Oh, okay.
This is when it isn't.
So the front of the Titanic, that was a spring until it slammed into the iceberg.
Yeah. Yep, and then it was a hole.
Then it wasn't a spring anymore.
Yeah. That's just the way to look at it. Right, kind of like when you play with a rubber band, right? You pull it, it comes back. You pull it too much, now it's just deformation. And if you get really cold, it's glass. It just shatters.
It's like every college physics class where they take the rubber ball, they bounce it. Look how bouncy it is. Dunk it in liquid nitrogen and then throw it on the floor and it just shatters everywhere.
Yep. That's pretty much what's going on. So we have the mid-deck glove box, which is in the science lab and not mid-deck.
Why do they call it the mid deck?
I don't know.
I was just imagining they're sitting in the front of the car, right? And it's, there's the glove box.
Pull the tab, right. Taps out. Got an insurance card with you. That's good.
You got the insurance card. Got the Glock 17. Right? Yeah. We're all good. We're set.
Gonna grow some protein crystals. Okay.
No one's gonna stop us.
So the experiment here is coarsening in solid liquid mixtures. Examines processes of coarsening in metals. So when we have high temperature operation of mechanical devices, they'll get get gritty and start eroding and that kind of stuff. Okay. It's good for mechanical processes.
Right.
And bubble and drop nonlinear dynamics. So they understand how the shape and behavior of bubbles change in response to ultrasonic radiation pressure. So to scream at it and see what the bubbles do.
Just get a scream. It's like, you're not worth anything. Oh, it's changing. Look at that.
Yeah, oh, it's sad now. Go ahead.
Good. We'll make it more sad. Scream at it some more.
You can't do protein crystal growth experiments.
You'll never get out of the flight deck.
Because bubbles are a problem in manufacturing of things, of course, right? You don't want like voids and things like that to show up.
Yeah, you don't want any of that.
A study of fundamental operation of a capillary-driven heat transfer device in microgravity. The goal is to better understand the mechanisms that lead to the unstable operation and failure of heat transfer devices in space.
Okay, that one seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, hey, what happens when this breaks? So we can stop it.
What do we do?
Yeah, panic. So we have internal flows in a free drop. Investigates techniques for controlling position and motion of liquids in low gravity through acoustic positioning. So they shout at it. Again.
Oh, so they shout at some more.
Drop it, give me 20.
With acoustic, that's when they start playing the guitar at it, right?
Yes, they have a drill sergeant, and then someone gets out the guitar and tries to serenade it, you know?
Yeah, that's just, yeah. It's both of the same people, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you're worthless, you're not going to do anything with your life. Now listen to this song.
Let me play this song.
Yeah.
So we have, of course, our hitchhiker, which is cryogenic flexible diode. Cryofd. So this is a flight test of heat pipes in space, which they're used to cool electronics. We've covered some heat pipe experiments before, right? Yeah. This flight has 2 heat pipe experiments. One uses oxygen at temperatures as low as 60 Kelvin. The other uses methane at 100 Kelvin.
So significantly warmer.
Yes. We also have Alpha, which is American loop heat pipe with ammonia. So this one's using ammonia.
Really? Wow, I never would have guessed.
So it's operating at...
I thought it was using America.
Yeah, Liquid America.
Liquid America.
Yep. So this operates near room temperature, so about 20 centigrade, and can transport up to 500 watts over 1 to 2 meters with a very small temperature drop. Isn't that neat?
That's pretty neat. 500 watts of electricity or 500 watts of heat?
Heat.
Okay.
It's a heat pipe.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
you didn't specify, though. That's why I got concerned.
I'm sorry.
Go back and rewrite it.
Spelling mistakes enough for you to understand what's going on?
Yes.
I'm going to shout it until it floats. Okay, so...
Or just serenade it with another song.
That's true. I like how they have all the patches out front, too.
Yeah, it's branding.
Yeah.
You know?
So who's going to fly this mission? These people.
People, I assume.
Look at these people.
Okay. Look at all these people.
Look at these astronauts. This is cool. Look, there's the shuttle on the pad.
Yeah. I mean, you could really only see the external fuel tank and the SRBs, but I assume the orbiter's back there as well.
Yeah. The rotating surface structure is so cool.
It is big.
That's big. So
Gray and industrial.
So let's look at our crew, and we're going to start off with a sad note here. This is going to be a tough one.
Uh-oh.
So our commander is James D. Halsell. He was born September 29th, 1956. He's from West Monroe, Louisiana. He's an Air Force pilot with a degree in space operations from Air University, as compared to Land University and Water University.
Don't forget Underground University.
That's true. That's the mole people.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Astronaut Group 13. This is his 3rd of 5 flights. He's a pilot on STS-83 and 74. He's also the 2nd astronaut to go to prison.
Dang, not even record-breaking. Not the first. He's the 2nd.
He's the first male astronaut to go to prison.
There we go. Now we got the diversity.
And this isn't like So the first one was Lisa Novak. She was the one who was planning to kill her ex, who was an astronaut, where she drove across like 3 states. We might cover that at some point. Halsell drunk drove and killed 2 kids in an accident.
That's not.
He's still incarcerated here in the great state of Alabama.
Good.
Now his first DUI was like in 2006, so it happened after he was an astronaut.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
that's not great. Don't ever drink and drive.
Yeah. So I don't know how to cover this guy because he was actually a good guy. Like he was a big champion of like helping women in the space program, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he drunk drove and killed 2 kids.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. So our pilot is Susan Still. At the time, she's now Susan Kilrain. She got married after this flight. Good for her.
Congratulations.
She was born October 24th, 1961. She's from Augusta, Georgia.
Oh,
She's a Navy pilot and engineer with her MS from Georgia Tech. That's cool.
okay.
Actually, my coworker goes there right now.
A lot of my coworkers went to Georgia Tech.
Yeah. She's from astronaut group 15. This is the first of... oh, gosh. This is the first of 2 flights for her. She is the youngest pilot of the shuttle. Not
Hey.
Not Hillary Swank.
Ha!
This is 19.
Take
This
that.
is 1997. She was born in 61. That makes her 36? 35?
Math adds up.
35, yeah. So the interesting thing is, she wanted to be an astronaut, and she met Dick Scobie, who said, if you want to be an astronaut, become a pilot. Join the Navy, do something like that. This was in November 1985. He would die in January 1986. So, yeah. But, yeah, so she became an astronaut from this. She only flew twice, though, because of sexism. But,
Yay.
yeah, but she is the youngest pilot of the shuttle, second woman to fly it.
Congratulations. That's epic.
Yeah. Mission Specialist 1, also known as the payload commander for this one, is Janice E. Voss.
Cool name.
Yep. She was born October 8th, 1956, and she did die in February 2012. I think it was cancer.
Dang. R.I.P.
She's from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh, okay. That's a nice place.
Yeah. She has a PhD in aero and astronautics from MIT, so she's qualified for this, I'd say.
Yeah, sounds right.
So she's from Group 13, like Commander Halsell. This is her third of 5 flights. She was the mission specialist on STS-57 and 63. And eventually, she will be the science director of the Kepler Space Telescope.
Dang, that's a nice promotion.
Yeah. She's a big science person at NASA, if you haven't guessed.
Really?
Yeah, never gets this.
No.
So, Mission Specialist 2 is Michael L. Gernhardt. He was born May 4th, 1956, and he's from Ohio, which explains a lot.
Yes. They all want to get out of Ohio.
Yeah. He has a PhD in bioengineering from the University of Pennsylvania. He's from Group 14. This is his second of 4 flights. He previously flew on STS-69. And this guy is really cool. He really likes diving.
Okay.
Everything I've listed here, which is not everything I could have listed that's interesting about him, involves diving.
Okay.
So he developed like nitrox diving to support training for Hubble servicing EVAs. When Obama was inaugurated in 2008, he drove the lunar rover mock-up in front, like for the parade for that.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Okay.
he was also on the Aquarius thing. That's the underwater research facility off the coast of Florida. He was on that because he's a diver.
No,
This guy's very accomplished, and he does a lot of diving.
All right.
Yes. Mission Specialist 3 is Donald A. Thomas. He was born May 6th, 1955. He's also from Ohio, which explains a lot.
Yep. All trying to get out of Ohio. Just get out.
He has a PhD in material science from Cornell, Group 13, and this is his third of 4 flights. He was the mission specialist on STS-65 and 70.
Okay.
And he was a principal investigator for a crystal growth experiment on STS-32.
Wow. All right.
Again, you can't escape. Again, every kid's dream. I want to be an astronaut to grow some crystals.
Yeah, I want to go up into space. I want to grow some crystals. I want to push all the buttons.
Yeah. Gosh. Payload Specialist 1 is Roger K. Crouch. He is not involved with physical activities. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Dang it.
He was born September 12th, 1940. He's from Jamestown, Tennessee. He has a PhD in physics from Virginia Tech. He's a program scientist for several SpaceLab experiments. He was actually on loan, because he's a payload specialist, from MIT. So I'd say he's, qualified for this.
Well, MIT's got their own space shuttle program?
Well, they do experiments, and they'll just loan him, like, his expertise. He'll work at, like, NASA for a bit, instead of teaching people and shouting at them,
Okay. Instead, he's going to be shouting at the plants and the metal balls, but metal glass balls. Yeah.
He was the alternate payload specialist for STS-42.
Okay.
So he's the backup for that. And this is his first of 2 space flights.
Cool.
And then Payload Specialist 2 is Gregory T. Linteris. Linteris?
Linteris?
I should learn how to pronounce these names.
Linteris?
Now, what?
I mean, people in the comment section, they'll let you know if you pronounced it wrong.
I pronounce everything wrong. Now, he is a child of the space age. He was born October 4th, 1957.
Is that the exact date in which the thing went up?
Sputnik? Yeah.
Yeah.
October.
It's the exact date?
Isn't it?
4th of October?
October 4th, 1957? Yeah.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, so
okay.
he's the space guy.
All right.
He's from Englewood, New Jersey. Good for him. He has a PhD in mechanical and aerospace engineering from Princeton, which is based in Princeton, New Jersey. Wow. He's on loan from the National Institute of Standards and Techniques Fire Research Division. What do you think he's...
I wonder why they brought in a fire research guy for this mission.
This is Bob Arson. This is the first of 2 space flights for him.
So all of these astronauts do more than one flight.
Yes. But here's the thing, though. Payload specialists usually do 1 flight. So why are these guys doing 2?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh.
Have you figured out what this mission's so special?
I think I have. I'm going to leave I'll say it later.
We'll get to it. So these are some photos from training, because this one looks so cool here, where they're doing...
This does, right? This is the shot from Armageddon, right?
Yeah.
Where they're going into the shuttle. Yeah.
Oh, right, it's about the same time, too.
Yeah, 97, yeah.
Now, this is early 97. They filmed in late 97. But,
oh.
Yeah, so here they are in training, looking at all the experiments, how the experiments are going to do. Like, okay, here's all the combustion. Yeah, see, there's Bob back there, Okay, just put the matches there.
Put the extra matches there. Get this fire extinguisher out of here.
The only movie he talks about is Backdraft for some reason.
He has poster of Kurt Russell. It's weird.
Yeah, he just loves Backdraft. I don't know.
Yeah. It's weird. I always see him with matches, but I never see him like smoking any cigarettes. It's strange.
Who knows? Yeah, weird. So let's get to this mission. Let's light this candle, as they say, which it's kind of annoying to hear a lot now, but... Okay, so in December 1995, that's when the mission's actually planned. That's when they set it up.
Okay.
It's baseline for March 27th, 1997, but then they moved it to April 3rd, 1997.
Okay.
Then they delayed it on April 1st because they wanted to add extra insulation to the water cooling lines, which I think that's what these are, on the back of the cabin, right? Make sure they don't freeze during the 15 days of flight.
Right, but they were joking, right? Because it's April 1st. They were joking about that, right?
They rolled it back. They delayed it a day just to fix those.
Dang it.
So that's probably how the rotating surface structure out.
Yeah.
So the launch date is now April 4th, 1997.
Okay.
So they delayed the launch by 20 minutes, 32 seconds to repair a seal on the cabin pressurization probe.
Okay.
It was leaking. So okay, we'll put that in.
It's losing too much pressure, or like the sensor was off. Or...
Yeah, so they just had to fix the seal.
Okay.
So it launches at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and do you know who this is? Watching?
Who's that?
Neil Armstrong.
Oh!
Yep, the other guest of this launch was Wally Schirra, who was one of the Mercury 7. He flew Apollo 7. Yeah, he was there for this.
Oh.
This flight also has the first female flight director for launch, Linda Ham.
Awesome.
Yep. So it's going to go into an orbit of 188 by 185 miles, about 300 kilometers, at 28.45 degrees. Wow. It's due east out of the Cape. Very exciting.
Due east out of the Cape.
Now, prior to the flight controllers noticed anomalies on fuel cell number 2 that may indicate incorrect mixing of hydrogen and oxygen.
Oh, great. We're doing Apollo 13 again?
We'll get there.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, I just remembered.
So here's some... so actually, I found a report on like debris coming off the shuttle and like icing. There's an icing and debris report for every launch.
Oh, cool.
So you look for, how icy does the shuttle get before it launches? Because you don't want ice on it, right? And
right. How does the ice taste? What's the consistency?
Yeah.
Is it vanilla or is it like chocolate?
Yeah. So this shot here is actually SRB separation. So you can see it's separating.
Oh yeah, it's coming on. Yeah, it's coming on test.
Yeah, so this is. So they have the door. They have the cameras here for the feed lines. That's what this is. That's where it's looking from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this is a debris impact where all the things hit.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can see
That's a lot of debris impacts.
there's 38 of them. There's only 7 that are greater than an inch, and you notice they're mostly along this part of the orbiter, especially back here.
Yeah, like that's from the external fuel tank, I imagine.
Yeah, it's just, it's foam. But again, we're talking like, 0.7 inches, 0.75 inches. It's like, it's out of a quarter.
Yeah, it's tiny.
On Columbia.
Okay.
So I'm going to do some mission photos. I'm going to look at pictures of the mission because the mission's pretty, right? Actually, it's not. There's a lot of photos of just the crew doing things. I'm sorry. So this is the shuttle on orbit. I got this one because it's glowing.
Yeah, it's got that soft focus.
Yeah. Oh, so it's in a Star Trek episode.
Yeah. Makes sense. It's in space.
Look, there's the Terminator line.
Yeah. And then they're going to be making the Terminator in, 30 of these 80 experiments.
Yeah, liquid metal.
Yeah.
So here's the crew doing science. So they're on these SpaceLab module. They have windows on the top you can open up. That's the tail.
You can open up the windows?
Well, the covers for them, yeah.
Okay, I was a little concerned about that.
Bob brought the cigarettes again. There's all the smoke,
I gotta get some air.
Yeah. So there's, of course, Crouch. There's science. So there's the mid-deck galley. That's where the food is behind him.
And that's actually in the mid deck,
Yes,
right?
this is the mid-deck. There's the hatch right there.
Oh,
And
right.
there's a little astronaut's room right there.
Yeah.
So there's Susan sending out some emails.
Sweet.
Greg, sleeping, and my goodness, that's a messy bunk.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Well, they're melting everything they could find together to see what happens.
Setting fire to stuff. Gosh.
They're setting fire to everything, and they're trying to collect all of the flammables into a specific spot, so that way they can just light it all up at once.
Yeah, I'm just done with this.
Yeah.
All right, mission's over, guys. So here's Janice looking at one of the experiments, and she's really excited about it. Science.
Yeah, they're doing science.
Yep. Here's Commander Halsell plugging in. So this is in the med deck right now, and they're going to move it to the SpaceLab.
Right, so they're plugging in everything to make sure it all works, and then it's like, okay, time to yank it out of this thing, shove it in the other place.
Again, you saw the tunnel, right? It's this sure tunnel we go through. So here he is working on the mid-deck glove box. Yeah, he's looking for the insurance.
Which is not in the mid-deck.
It's the rear of the SpaceLab module. And there's some really interesting results on one of the experiments they're looking at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, what is this?
Yeah, that's because there's a few photos of them looking at this, and this is the funniest one I found. It's just, what?
How could you have 281 bees in this? We didn't bring up any.
Yeah, are the bees and the ants are forming an alliance? What's going on?
How could they be forming a treaty together?
Oh man, gotta keep watching this.
Yeah.
Here's the tunnel, of course, going into SpaceLab. You can see it goes down and then along the base of the payload bay, and then into the airlock.
Yeah, you got the U channel, or like the U.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird design, all the cables and all that. It's a good thing none of these astronauts are claustrophobic.
I think they'd screen for that.
They probably do.
Yeah, it's like, hey, how do you like being stuck in a tin can with 6 other people for 15 days?
Yeah. So this is mission elapsed time counter, of course, because you're running experiments. You want to note what time they're being done. So this is first day, 22 hours in, 43 minutes.
In 37 seconds.
So here's one of the protein crystal growth experiments, because I just taped them all over the place.
I feel like putting it here today.
And here we go. It's like this is my favorite one, like my favorite band, right? Here it is.
Yeah.
Here's another combustion experiment that's going on. He's setting up the cameras to take pictures. I think this is the droplet combustion facility he's working on.
Okay.
And he's really
I
excited.
mean, it looks like a box with a whole bunch of equipment on it.
You can see it's great. He's got the cameras pointing in, though, right?
Right.
So,
right.
I think that's the combustion experiment. One of them. So here's Susan drilling into one of the experiments. I think that's the Large Isothermal Furnace she's working on.
It kind of looks like it.
Yeah, it's about the right spot for it. Oh, good, they got a fire extinguisher. That's good.
Bob Arson couldn't get that one out in time.
Yeah. And then here's Janice and someone else playing dominoes in space, slacking off.
Wow. Unbelievable. Look, did you become an astronaut to play, Monopoly in space, or did you do it to operate the crystal growth experiments in the furnace?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, on Soyuz 9, they played chess.
Well, that makes sense.
The commander played chess with the ground controller. You can actually find documentation of the actual chess game they played. Because they were up there for like 13 days. Like, what are you going to do? I don't know.
I got a game of chess. Get that going.
Yeah. Oh, look at clouds. That's exciting. Man, I could go some protein crystal growth experiments right now.
These chess pieces kind of look like protein crystals.
Yeah. Well, I'm done counting all the dust in the capsule.
What do we do now?
I don't know. So, hey, look, food. What is this?
Tortillas.
Ooh. Yep, because
finally we can have sandwiches in space.
Food and then Fruit Loops.
True astronauts food.
Yep. Astronaut food. You got all the mid-deck stuff. You got a knife. Food, all those fun things. More crew. So here's Susan again sending more emails or running a script or something. Look at this ancient computer though.
It's 1997. You got any games on there?
That's an IBM too. It's got the little mouse button thing.
Oh yeah, those.
Like the
those
ThinkPads,
things.
Yeah. There's a lot of pictures of Susan just on the computer. It's funny, just typing things up, doing science experiments. Because I know Shannon Lucid, I think, was the first person to ever send an email from space.
That's awesome.
In like 1993.
Dang.
Yeah. Yes, here's more of the crew. Having a good time in the mid-deck, as you can see.
Is it the actual mid-deck? Or
you can see it's this sleep compartment. You can see them.
Oh, yeah.
They're having a good time. Of course, Gernhardt is shaving.
Yeah, okay.
Look at astronaut stuff.
I just thought about this. So for shaving in space, does it just get all sucked into the shaver, or does it go everywhere?
Actually, they do. They attached a vacuum attachment to the shaver. They did this on SpaceLab because that's when they're spending enough time in space where they need to shave. So you put a little vacuum attachment to it. It's shaved and just sucked it all up.
Good.
Because it's debris.
I was just thinking.
Can you imagine breathing all that in, too?
Oh, God, yeah. No.
It's not like I normally do. So look at this next photo, of course. Here's Janice doing some science. And you got a little, and as you can see up here, they have a desk where they do record stuff. Little workshop.
I see all the foot loops.
Yeah. Well, how is he gonna support yourself, right?
Well, it's space, right? You just float, right? No.
Well, it's fun to float around until you're trying to hold and do stuff with your hands, right? Kind of like what we talked about with 61B and building the trusses, where it's
right. Yeah, got to get the footholds in and
move stuff around. Yeah, it's a lot harder. And in here are more experiment parts, like different things to put in the furnace and the combustion experiments and all that. Here's another laptop.
Right. Look at that.
Science.
Look at all the laptops.
Oh my! This is like a Neil Breen movie. All laptops.
I'm tired of sending emails. I'm tired of growing crystals. Who am I?
That's Comet Hale-Bopp.
Hale-Bopp.
You want to see some combustion?
Yes.
So that's some droplet combustion.
It's blue.
Oh yeah. So that's some pure flame combustion too. So if you look at a candle, right? You have the flame like this, and then it's kind of like this. This part's orange, right?
Right.
So that's like impure combustion. That's like extra stuff, like fuel-rich combustion, right? Mm-hmm. But the center of the flame is actually the pure stuff. And you got like a flame front. I took a course on this a year ago, so it's like I know combustion. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they got the nice blue flame front going on there, and it's spherical, of course, because it's microgravity.
Yeah. It's not being tugged or.
There's no air right? Because this has air wants to go up, right? And
right.
Gravity.
Warm air rises, cool air descends.
Right.
You get turbulent, convective flow.
But here's the problem. You know what this is?
Judging by the title, it's a fuel cell.
That is a space shuttle fuel cell. This is what powers spacecraft for NASA until Orion, which uses solar power.
Finally, going green.
Yeah. Every mission uses a fuel cell. So
Every mission uses a fuel cell. Okay.
So a fuel cell, and they're located here in the payload bay.
gosh.
Now, don't get too scared. So this is the front of the shuttle here.
Okay.
So the cabin is just right here. The fuel cells are
Okay.
here, here, and here.
All right. So basically tucked up right next to it.
Yep, and under the payload bay. So it's like a subfloor,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And it's so this is a diagram of it. So what they do is they take hydrogen and oxygen, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they run them between an electrolyte. So they pull this all in. So there's an electrolyte here. There's hydrogen, oxygen, electrolyte. So hydrogen is on an anode, which breaks the hydrogen into electrons and ions. And they
Okay.
mix it with the oxygen through the electrode.
Okay.
Basically, they're doing combustion. So what this
Another combustion experiment.
it powers the shuttle.
Yeah. Nice.
So the byproducts of this are water, which the crew drinks,
Mm-hmm.
and electricity, which powers the spacecraft.
Okay.
So the shuttle has 3 fuel cells.
All right.
It can operate with 2.
Okay.
So fuel cell 2 is actually drawing electricity from the shuttle instead of generating it.
Oh.
There's something going on in the stacks. So inside the fuel cell, there's a bunch of stacks of electrodes and oxygen hydrogen mixing. It's not just one giant thing. They got to build a bunch of little ones. And there's something going wrong in there. And it's not generating electricity, it's drawing it. So it's like you plug your phone into the wall of your house, and your phone starts powering the house.
It's not supposed to do that.
Wrong way around.
Yeah.
So now it's trending towards 300 millivolts, which is one of the cutoff requirements. This means they have to shut the fuel cell down because they're worried that because it's drawing electricity in, right?
Yeah, it's gonna take all the power.
Well, what happens if you put electricity through, I don't know, wire?
It warms up, heats up.
So what's next to the heated part here? What are these two things?
Combustion experiments.
You could do an Apollo 13 style combustion experiment. So
Yay!
they have to shut this down. Now, so they have 3, but it can run on 2. The problem is the shuttle can run on 1, but that's pretty much we can land this thing, nothing else on, turn all the lights off, turn everything else off kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. All stop, quick, quiet.
Pretty much. And the flight rules dictate, well, if you're turning off a fuel cell, come down.
Oh, okay.
Because if you're losing one, you might lose another, and you don't want to risk it.
Yeah.
So the minimum duration flight is declared. So for the next 36 hours, so for the last 36 hours of the mission, they're going to run a bunch of experiments and then come back down. That's the flight rules. That's how they set it up. And the Capcom for this is Chris Hadfield, the Canadian.
Oh.
Because he flew earlier that year, or he flew to Mir on like STS-74, I think.
Okay.
So he was Capcom, and he wrote about this in his autobiography, where he's saying, "Oh, it's probably a bad sensor, but the flight rules dictate you got to come down."
Yeah. Better to find out that it was just a bad sensor than to risk the crew.
Better to be on the ground wishing you were flying than flying wishing you're on the ground.
Yeah, that's a good phrase.
Now, the crew came up with a few joke reasons why they had to do a minimum duration flight. I haven't found the full list, but these are the 4 that I found. They ran out of Colombian coffee. They forgot to tape Friends episodes, because that's when this is on.
Oh, okay.
They forgot to do their taxes. It's just an April Fool's prank, bro. So when they're running those experiments, they're actually powering down the SpaceLab to not draw too much electricity. So they're actually so this is the ceiling, right? You got the lights. They're turning them off just to save power, to make sure they don't draw too much from the fuel cells.
Okay, so it's basically all stop, quick, quiet, but a little bit. You're doing a little bit more.
Pretty much, okay, these are the minimum amount of time we can spend in space, then come back down.
Okay, and it's 36 hours?
Yep, 36 hours from when they decide to do minimum duration flight. That's kind of how they're going to do it.
Okay.
So it's pretty much, we're going to do minimum duration flight, so start preparing for landing now.
Got it.
So here's a good crew photo, though. They still got time to do that when they're with their 90s polos.
I like the blue stripes, work well with the red stripes of the American flag.
Yep. So that's our crew. Here's Commander.
Do they have to also bring up a giant American flag with them every single time? Is that the American flag experiment?
Yeah, it's the American flag experiment. They also bring up banners for like universities or whoever's like, if there's an agency running an experiment, or like because there's like a flag for MSL1. They just brought it up with them to for taking pictures and posterity. It's like they put patches and everything.
And decorate the insides.
Yeah, the decor.
Okay.
Oh, this lab is so drab. Let's hang a flag up.
Yeah.
It's so much better. So here's Commander Halsell getting ready for landing.
Okay.
And here they come down. So
they're down.
So it launched April 4th, and it lands April 8th at 2:33 p.m. So pretty much exactly 4 days.
Yeah, 4 days and 13 minutes.
Yep. So the flight was 3 days, 23 hours, 12 minutes, and 39 seconds. That's 64 orbits.
So it just basically went up. Oh, we got this problem. Down we go.
So this is the third time a shuttle mission has been cut short. The first was STS-2. The second was STS-44. This is also the fourth shortest mission of the shuttle program if you don't include Challenger.
Okay.
Because Challenger was 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. So 36 hours to come back down, right, to prepare. There's some rumors that have been circulating that they'll just refly the mission. Because it's just the fuel cell they gotta fix, right?
Right.
So, the shuttle lands, Commander Halsell walks out, he shakes the hand of Kennedy Space Center Director Roy Bridges, and Roy Bridges says, "We're going to try to give you an oil change and send you right back."
Okay.
So, for the next 56 days, Columbia will be brought back to the Orbiter Processing Facility and readied for STS-94.
Oh, so it's a two-parter.
This is a two-parter.
All right, so that's why they all have first of two flights.
Yep. And this is the reason why the order gets screwed up again. Because STS-94 was the free number for the shuttle program. So it's STS-83, 84, 94. But 56 days, the second fastest turnaround of the shuttle program. And we'll actually talk about that, because for STS-94, we don't need to talk, who's flying the mission? Who's in the science experiments? But yeah, that's STS-83. How was that?
That's pretty good.
Minimum?
Yeah, I like it. Oh, we're just going to give you a quick oil change, right? 56 days later.
Well, you got to drain the stuff, Yeah.
I mean, that's how long
you
got to clean all the furnaces.
Furnaces. So many matches in here for some reason.
Why are there 283 bees?
What's going on, guys?
Yeah. What? Okay, here's another flag. Here's another flag. We got another flag. There's too many flags for this flag experiment.
Yeah.
But also, 56 days. That's about how long an oil change takes.
Yeah, that's true. Again, we've done the two fastest turnaround times of the shuttle program now, 54 and 56 days.
Dang.
Yeah, we'll talk about that with STS-94. But so we'll do this as a two-parter because I don't want to talk about results. They got more results on 94 because they flew the full mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, so STS-83. How was that?
It's a good mission.
Yep. I mean, it's not too long.
Nice, short, quick 4 days.
Quick in and out, 5 minutes.
5-minute space shuttle adventure, in and out.
Yep. And there it is, getting ready for stacking again.
After a quick oil change.
Yep. That's STS-83, and there's a fire truck behind me. I don't know if you can hear it.
I can't hear it.
Yeah,
I thought we were rolling straight into 94.
No, we'll do them separately, of course.
Okay.
So the next episode we're doing Messenger. We're going back to Mercury.
Yay! Couldn't get enough of the gray planet.
Yeah. Messenger won't limp to Mercury, though, so that's good.
Was it built with, not 1970s technology?
No, it's built with 90s technology.
Much better. The cassette tapes. And that was after we discovered cocaine.
Yes. It's one of the reasons why they had to come down. They ran out of it. So that's STS-83. It's a fun little mission. A little bit of trivia for the shuttle program. It also shows you that
almost did another Apollo 13, so they had to come down.
Yeah. Shows you the resilience of this program, too.
Yeah.
compared to... We're recording this in January. Starship flew on Thursday and exploded again. So...
And then New Glenn made it to orbit,
Yep,
right?
New Glenn made it to orbit, and they didn't land, but... You'll have seen...
Not bad for, a first flight.
You will have seen the video by now, by the time this comes out, I think in March. You'll have seen the video.
You could put it as, April. That'd be funny.
Well, that would be
That would line up.
Be funny. See, I was thinking we'd upload STS-94 56 days after we do this one.
Oh, that's good. I like that. We're doing that.
So we'll put a special in... Yeah, we'll put the special in. That'll time it about right. Because we're trying to do 3 weeks, which is... Well, it would be 6 weeks because we're doing Space Probe.
Right.
6 times 7 is 42.
Mm-hmm.
And then another 2 weeks after that, 56.
Yeah. Perfect.
That's when we'll do that then. So when this uploads, 56 days later, we'll do STS-94. That'll be fun.
Yeah. And you'll have to wait through the entire oil change. Get used to their lobby.
Yep. Okay, folks, we're going to sit there, drink some of the coffee, listen to the people talk on their phone about something.
Mm-hmm. Watch an outdated show that was somehow made 2 years ago.
Yeah, something that looks like it was made in the 90s but actually came out 2 years ago. It's, what? What's this?
Copyright 2023. What?
Yeah,
Okay.
And watch 57 minutes of commercials and 3 minutes of show. Oh, gosh.
Yeah. In which they recap what happened in the
course.
previous 3
Of
minutes.
course. Yeah, 1 minute of content, 2 minutes of recap. Jeez.
Yeah. That's how you run a TV
That's
show.
what we should do. For our missions. It's just, that's what we'll do with STS-94. We'll spend 2 hours talking about STS-83.
We'll
Again.
just redo this episode, basically.
It is basically that.
Previously on End of Mission.
STS-83.
And now, the conclusion.
We should do that. That'd be fun.
That'd be cool. If you find, the weirdest part of what you're talking about nothing.
Yeah, we're just kind of sitting there. It's one of my weird pauses. I go, yeah. So, one of those.
Now the conclusion.
Or we're joking about something we shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Bees. Okay. So, yep, that was STS-83. Fun little mission. A lot of fun science experiments. And don't worry, I have a lot of combustion photos for STS-94.
Good.
I have so many.
You hyped me up.
Oh, yeah.
You hyped me up this episode. I thought we were just rolling straight into 94, but
Nope.
guess we gotta wait.
Because for 94, we'll just do kind of I'll structure it with, we'll talk about, how do you process the space shuttle?
Oh, that'd be cool. I'm down for that.
I mean, we're not going to talk about 87 experiments on TEMPUS, where I misspelled everything. Or, gosh.
Yeah.
And I hope by then, by 94, I'll have fixed my audio.
Gotta get a new Michael.
Yeah, it's the fuel cell in in OBS or my microphone. It's doing this. It's broken. It's gonna explode soon.
It's drawing in sound instead of emitting it.
So was your guess correct? It's why this mission was interesting.
Yeah, they had to come down. Yeah,
that's good. Good. I was hoping by then you'd figured it out.
Yeah.
So that's STS-83. Happy face.
Yeah. Happy face. Enjoy your combustion experiments and protein crystal growth experiments.
Oh, yeah. Well, you want to play us out? You want to abort this mission? Minimum duration episode?
Yeah, minimum duration episode. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. And this has been End of Mission.